Boundaries aren't walls, they're clarity. This is where your time begins and where chaos ends. Reverse thinking required.
JJ-the-CPA here doing a raw reading of my book, Reverse Thinking Required, with Michelle Cornish, NBA. And in the body of this video, if you have missed any of the chapters, you want to skip to another one, or find those videos that also include commentary before and after of what was going on, then check the body of this video and links at the end. But just going to dive right in here. Chapter 3, Be Your Own Advocate. Being your own advocate, it's something we talk about a lot, but not many of us truly understand how important it is, especially in a profession like mine. As CPAs, we're trained from day one to put our clients first. It's drilled into us in school, reinforced in our early careers, and becomes second nature as we build our practice. We believe that serving our clients is the highest priority, often to the detriment of our own well-being. But after the stroke, I realized something. I had spent years advocating for my clients without ever advocating for myself. And the truth is, if you're not an advocate for yourself, no one else is going to be, not in the way that you need. I had to learn that the hard way. Let's return to the example I gave in Chapter 1. Just a few days after I got home from the hospital, a client showed up at my door. Unannounced, they knocked, and when Amanda answered, there they stood with a lunch bag in one hand and a file in the other. "Just checking in on you," they said. "And I brought you something to eat. By the way, can we go over these files?" I'm barely recovering, still trying to piece my life back together, and there's my client, standing at my front door, expecting me to dive right back into work. That's when it hit me, at least looking back. For all the talk about putting your health first, when push comes to shove, people will prioritize their own needs. They'll say, take care of yourself. Your health comes first, right up until it impacts them. And I can't blame them for that, because that's how we're wired. We're all advocates for ourselves. You have to recognize that in life and in business, everyone is going to advocate for what they need. Your clients, your employees, your family, they all have their own needs, and they will naturally advocate for them. What I had to learn was that advocacy wasn't criticism or a lack of concern for me. It was just them looking out for themselves. And that meant I had to start looking out for myself too. Being my own advocate wasn't just about drawing boundaries with clients. It became more than that. I had to fundamentally change how I viewed my role as a CPA, as a business owner, and a person. For years, I let my clients dictate the terms of our relationship. Late nights, last-minute requests, weekends sacrificed to meet their deadlines. But the truth is, I have never even thought to ask myself, what do I need? The turning point came when I realized that advocating for myself didn't mean standing up and shouting, "I'm done with overtime." It didn't mean making demands. It meant taking a quiet internal stand, deciding what I needed to live the life I wanted, and then being honest with myself and my clients about it. Sometimes being honest with yourself is one of the toughest things to do. This meant accepting that some clients' needs were going to align. This means accepting that some clients' needs weren't going to align with my expectations anymore, and that was okay. 4444. It wasn't okay, though, When I started telling clients I couldn't meet their expectations, they didn't exactly throw a party. Some were unsupportive, some were supportive. Others pushed back, saying things like, I get it, but don't get too busy for me. This translated to, I still need you to prioritize me. And that's when I realized advocating for myself meant accepting that not everyone would be happy with my boundaries, and that was their right. But it was also my right to set those boundaries in the first place. It's common to fear that setting boundaries will upset your clients or make them leave. But here's the reality. Clients will advocate for themselves, and you have to do the same. If you lose a client because they can't respect your needs, that's a sign they weren't a good fit for your business. In the long run, the clients who stay are the ones who value the quality and consistency you provide, not the number of hours you work. In the end, being your own advocate comes down to this. You are responsible for defining what you need and for being honest about whether your business and your life are giving you that. If they aren't, you have to be willing to make changes, even if they're uncomfortable or unpopular. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. And if you wait too long, there might come a time when it's too late to stand up at all. Advocating for myself also means advocating for my clients, but in a different way than I had been. By telling them I wasn't the best fit for their needs anymore, I wasn't abandoning them. I was ensuring they found someone who could truly serve them better than I could in this new phase of my life. It's not selfish, it's honest. We've been conditioned to believe that putting ourselves first is selfish, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Advocating for yourself means setting boundaries that allow you to be a better business owner, a better service provider, and a healthier individual. In fact, by being your own advocate, you're also advocating for your clients by ensuring you can serve them to the best of your abilities. So the next time you're tempted to put yourself last, think about it this way. Your clients are always going to be advocates for themselves. They draw their own lines. They'll decide what they're willing to pay, what deadlines they can meet, and how much access they want to you. That's their right, just as it's your right to decide what you're willing to give in return. In the CPA world, we're conditioned to believe that the only way to succeed is to work more, charge less, and make our clients happy at all cost. But what I've learned is this. Success doesn't come from making everyone else happy. It comes from building a business and a life that works for you. One that allows you to meet your own needs first. One that's sustainable. And that's what being your own advocate is all about. Looking back, I wish I'd known this sooner. If I had started my career by setting boundaries, by deciding that I wasn't going to work overtime or take on more clients than I could handle, I would have still had a successful practice. In fact, I might have been more successful because I wouldn't have been burned out all the time. But it's not too late. The beauty of advocating for myself is that you can start today. You don't need a life-threatening event to give you permission. You just need to decide that you're worth it, and you are. So here are signs it's time to advocate for yourself. This gets in the workbook section of each chapter. In the CPA profession, we're often taught that serving clients is the ultimate priority, sometimes at the expense of our own well-being. This mindset becomes ingrained, pushing us to work overtime, sacrifice personal time, and neglect our health. But if you don't advocate for yourself, who will? Recognizing when it's time to speak up for your own needs is crucial for both your career and your health. If you're looking for a sign that it's time to advocate for yourself, Here are three. You're stuck in client first mode. You've spent your career putting your clients first, believing it's the only way to succeed. But if you find yourself consistently compromising your own needs, whether it's working through illness, skipping family time, or pushing through exhaustion, it's a sign that you need to prioritize yourself. Serving your clients doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being. Number two, signs that it's time to advocate for yourself. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. If you hesitate to set boundaries because you fear disappointing your clients or letting them down, it's time to reevaluate. Advocating for yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Your clients may push back, but the reaction doesn't mean your boundaries are wrong. It means they're simply advocating for themselves. You need to do the same. Respecting your limits is just as important as respecting your clients. Number three, overtime is the norm. When overtime becomes standard practice instead of an occasional exception, you're at risk of burnout. If you dread tax season because it means endless hours of work, missed family dinners, and sleepless nights, it's a clear indicator that you need to advocate for change. You can't do your best work if you're constantly drained. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward reclaiming control over your business and your life. If you continue to put others' needs before your own, you'll eventually run out of energy and focus necessary to succeed. Remember, advocating for yourself isn't selfish, it's essential for long-term success and balance. Action plans, how to start advocating for yourself. When you're not used to advocating for yourself, it can feel a bit strange when you first start doing it. Being your own advocate isn't about being demanding, it's about defining what you need and ensuring your business aligns with those needs. Here's how to get started. Number one, draw your line in the sand. Take time to define what you need to function at your best. Is it more rest, fewer clients, or limiting your work hours to a reasonable number? Decide what your non-negotiables are and make them clear to yourself first. Write these boundaries down. This could include limiting overtime, taking weekends off, or setting specific client communication hours. Whatever you choose, make sure you stick to it. Ultimately, you are responsible for sticking to the new boundaries, but you might want to share them with someone close to you so that they can help you keep you accountable. There is power in the supportive people around us. Number two, action plan. Communicate your boundaries. Once you've established your boundaries, it's time to communicate them. Inform your clients about the changes in a clear and respectful way. You might be surprised at how many will understand and appreciate your honesty. Use language that emphasizes the benefits for both you and your clients, such as, by setting these boundaries, I can continue to serve you effectively and ensure I deliver the highest quality work. Reassess your client relationships. Evaluate your client relationships to see who respects your time and who constantly pushes your limits. Consider whether those who don't respect your boundaries are worth keeping. It's okay to let go of clients who don't align with your new expectations. It's about finding balance for your health and your business. What client relationships do you need to reconsider? So don't be afraid to make hard decisions. Part of advocating for yourself is recognizing when a client relationship no longer serves you. By following these measures, you'll take the first important steps toward creating a sustainable business that works for you, rather than one that drains you. Advocating for yourself is not about being selfish. It's about protecting your business and ensuring that you can continue doing the work you love in a way that's healthy and sustainable. So you've got a link right now to go to hear me just read the next chapter raw. There'll be, at some point, if not right now, just depends on when you're watching this, also a version where I'll have commentary before and after. And with all that, I've got a playlist. You've got links here. All right, off to chapter 4, which is reverse engineering defined.
Tax season isn't broken because of the work. It's broken because of how we've been trained to think. More hours, more clients, more chaos? No, reverse it. This tax season, members move from surviving to thriving. Take a seat.